I came to this realization today, like literally today, because I just tweeted it out. I was like, I lost myself, but I'm back now, or whatever the fuck I said. But I don't know. I feel like when I was back home, like with my mom and shit like that, when I was back home, just doing this, just trying this creative shit, this creative journey, I feel like a lot of my creative efforts and a lot of the things that I did, I feel like they were at its purest. I think it was. This is just me kind of trying to reflect my life and shit like that. But I feel like before I moved out to LA and shit like that, I feel like a lot of the things that I did were at its purest. Not saying the shit that I do now isn't pure, obviously, but I'm saying like the way I went about things, the way I moved, the shit that I thought about. Cause when I was at home, my mom and shit like that, I didn't really necessarily have like crazy bills, or I didn't have to worry about all type of shit like that. I had a few things to help around with, but I didn't have crazy bills. I also wasn't even making that. I wasn't making no type of money for real. For real, I wasn't making no money. Like I had a job here and there, and was kind of working a little bit, but it wasn't no crazy paychecks. It wasn't enough for I could live on my own. Because if it was enough for me to live on my own, I would have been moved out type shit. But it was just enough. Like I was cooling, you know what I'm saying? I was chilling. I was still able to really be free with art and shit like that. But I also still had things I was worried about. I wanted to be on my own. I felt like I wasn't making no money off of my art. Like none of that shit was happening. I feel like I wanted so much better for myself, but also I don't think I realized that I was in my purest state of mind for real, for real. I was worried about the things that I wanted or didn't have and shit like that. Um, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times when we're in certain situations, we don't understand how blessed we are. We don't understand like the situation we are in is the best situation for us at that time. We don't feel like that because we always looking for something new to want. We always striving for something different. So it kind of makes us not appreciate the moments we in and shit like that. So I don't know. Hold on. Let me turn this up. I want to make sure y'all can hear me for real. I feel like it was low, so I don't want it to be too low. But yeah. But I don't know, like leading up to now to what I'm talking about in this video, where I say I feel like I lost myself. So I moved to LA. When was this? Like November 2019? November 2019, I think. Um, it was like during the pandemic and shit like that. I moved in with Jess and Poetic and shit like that. I was sleeping on their floor and all that other stuff. And I really had no idea what the fuck I was doing, bro. Like, I had no idea what I was about to do out here. I had just came off of living in New York and shit. Like, I don't know if y'all remember. I have a couple videos on my YouTube where I dropped out of school with my homies and we moved to New York. If y'all don't know that story, y'all probably new to the channel and shit like that. But you can kind of go back to my YouTube and see certain moments of when I was in New York and like doing just random shit. But yeah, so I had just me coming to LA. I had just came off of being in New York and figuring that shit out, and we had to end up moving back home because some people that was like with us couldn't pay the rent and shit like that. But that's neither here nor there. We all still cool and it's all straight. But so after that, I had to go home, and then when I went home, I had to get a job and figure out, all right, where's my next steps and shit like that. And then my man Poetic, he was already out here figuring shit out. He was like, bro, just come out here. I already been trying to figure it out. Just come out here. We could just figure this shit out. So I ended up saying fuck it and coming out here. And like I said, I had no idea what I was going to do in LA. LA was not in my like I never was like, ooh, I want to go move to LA one day. Like that never was my plan. I was trying to figure out how to get back to New York. But yeah, I moved out here in LA and I had no idea what the fuck I wanted to do. Hold on, I need some water, y'all. Hold on. Don't judge me. I drank out the jug. Fuck you. All right, I needed that. But yeah. So I moved out here to LA. I didn't want to. Damn, that really like parched my thirst. So whatever the fuck you call it, I don't know, quench my thirst. I needed that. But so I moved out here to LA. I had no idea what the fuck I was going to do. Like I had no idea I had no idea. I just knew I wanted to do something in the creative something. I was still kind of doing YouTube a little bit, but I was still inconsistent with it, as y'all know. And I just didn't know what the fuck to do. I was just sleeping on the floor, waiting for my car to get shipped out here. And once my car got out here, I was like, okay, and my source of income, I'm going to just do Uber Eats. Like, I'm going to do Uber Eats to just at least make money and eventually get my own, like, space. Because that was, like, the main goal was once my car get here, I'm going to Uber around and get my own space. So, like I said, I had no idea, like, what the fuck else I was going to do. I dabbled in a bunch of different shit. Like, I tried to do I thought I was going to be model or try to be a model, or I knew I was still like spray painting on the clothes and hoodies and all that other stuff. So I was still doing the same shit I was doing at home. Excuse me. I was just in LA now, sleeping on the floor and not at home with my mom and shit like that. So I came out here in LA and like I said, I didn't know what to do. And my main goal was just to get my own place. So I eventually moved, like Ubering and all that other shit. Like literally all I had income, really, like my main income was Uber Eats. That's all I was doing. So eventually Jess was able to kind of plug me into the house that we were staying in. There was like a bunch of other rooms there. So she kind of plugged me into where I could pay rent for one of the rooms. So I eventually got my own room and shit like that. She moved into her own apartment and shit like that. And then I was in a room and I was just doing that. I was doing YouTube out my room. I was still spray painting. I was still just figuring it out. At this point, I was like, all right, well, I'm in LA now. I'm on my own. I'm paying bills, my own bills for the first time, like really paying rent and shit like that for the first time. It was my first time. I was just like, all right, okay, we got this out the way. I don't know what the fuck we doing, but hey, we just trying shit, you know what I'm saying? So I was trying shit. I was there for a while, got into altercation with one of the roommates. He a bitch-ass nigga. So I was like, all right, I'm about to get out of here. So right when I was about to move out, I had got like a phone call. I had already kind of was messaging. I had got a message from Mustard, DJ Mustard, if y'all don't know. I had got a message from Mustard, and he was asking me about like what was I trying to do with clothes or whatever like that, because he saw some of the hoodies I was spray painting. He wanted to buy some, so he bought some. I linked with him. We kind of had a conversation about like fashion and clothes and shit like that. So eventually I got an opportunity to work with him on like the styling tip and just, you know what I'm saying, creative consultant, creative direction kind of type vibe. So that was just my introduction. I was like, okay, I'm in LA now. All right, I'm in LA. I got something possibly going for me. I don't know what's going on, but hey, you know, shit happened in your life for a reason. So that happened right when I was moving out of the place, and I was going to go stay with Jess and Poetic and them. I had like a couch, so I was going to bring a couch to her apartment, and I slept on the couch, so now I wasn't on the floor. But so I was just doing all this shit. I didn't expect this video for me to kind of give y'all a rundown of my life, but I'm just trying to lead up to the point where I felt like I was lost and shit like that. So I'm putting all this backstory. This is my first time like actually giving y'all kind of like a backstory of my life in LA for real. So I did not expect to do this, but fuck it, we here now. So I got the opportunity with Mustard and shit like that right when I was moving out of the room that I had. And like I said, I have videos. I have a video of when I first moved into that apartment, like into that like room. I have a video on my YouTube if y'all want to go find that joint. But yeah, so once I moved out of that and was going to go to Jess' apartment and stay there, because I was like, all right, I'm going to go stay at Jess' shit again until I could make enough money to get my own place. So that happened. I was working with Mustard and all that other shit. I still work with Mustard right now. So it's not like you know what I'm saying? I still work with him. So, but at that time, it was like the beginning. Like, it was the beginning of everything. And I was like, damn, I don't even know what this is about to be. Like, I had no idea what the fuck this was about to be, like, at all. I didn't even know. I knew of the Mustard tag, like, and shit like that on the beats, but I didn't really know who DJ Mustard was. So it wasn't like I was like, oh my God, this, like, I didn't really know what the fuck this was about to be at all. Like, this is my first time ever doing some shit like this. So I was just working for them, you know what I'm saying? Working for them while I was still at Just Shit. I had my own car still. This is after I done crashed my car. Like I said, y'all can go to a bunch of videos. I have a video of when I crashed my car, me talking about that and everything. Like I have all that backstory if y'all want to go talk about this. So this was after I done crashed my car, had to get a new car, all this other shit. So I got my own car still, living with Jess, working with Mustard and shit like that. Still doing Uber Eats because the money wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I started working with Mustard and I was just getting big bucks, you know what I'm saying? Crazy like that. I was just working with him, getting a decent amount of bread, but I still had to do my own thing. So I was doing the Uber Eats shit, working for Mustard, still trying to figure out this clothes thing, but I wasn't really selling no clothes at that time because I was like, I don't know what the fuck, what's going on. So I was still working with Mustard, doing the Uber Eats thing, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward to I started working more with Mustard and shit like that and getting into that realm, that lifestyle, and just seeing how all this shit was. That shit fun as hell. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that shit fun is something that most people will never get to experience in their lifetime. Like, they never get to experience some of the shit that I was able to experience and shit like that. It was fun as fuck. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that shit was fun as hell. But being in this, now we get into where I feel like I started to lose myself, because I already felt like I was losing myself once like situations happened in LA where I was like, bro, what the fuck am I doing? There was so many things that was happening where I was like, bro, wasn't it even a smart decision to even move to LA, bro? I'm broke as hell. I don't got no money. I don't know where the fuck to go. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm out here to do. Like, I was just really stressing. Like, I was starting to already lose myself even more. It's like, fuck, bro, I think I need to go home. I don't even know if this shit I'm doing is even gonna work. Like, mind you, I took this big ass risk to drop out of school to take on this fucking creative life, creative, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, I was working with Mustard and shit like that. So being in LA and just being around a bunch of shit where you're going outside, you're seeing fucking foreigners, you're seeing people with money, just all type of shit, being around it, like firsthand being around bread and being around millionaires and shit like that, to somebody who don't know what they want to do and kind of don't really know who they fully are for real, that could fuck up your brain. That could like fuck you up in your head. And this is me realizing this today. Like, I literally had this realization today and I was like, I'm going to talk about it. So to somebody who don't really know who they are and they're trying to just still figure this shit out, you can get consumed in that stuff and start to think like, okay, I want this, I want it like this, I want that, I want this. Like, you start to think you want things, or you want to be around certain things because like, okay, you never had it before. This looks like, this is way better than what the fuck your life look like. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You're getting introduced to different shit and you feel like you want that stuff. So me feeling like I want that stuff, I think I got carried away in that lifestyle where it was like, all right, I want this. I'm starting to buy certain amount of clothes. Like, obviously, y'all know I'm into clothes, and I've always spent my money on clothes when I wasn't supposed to and shit like that. But I think it got to a point where it was like, I was starting to like certain shit, and I'm like, questioning myself like, damn, do I even really want this shit? Like, I think I want this. I think I was buying a bunch of shit or doing a bunch of shit because I was able to do it. And it was like, okay, well, you're in LA now. You can buy that. You can do that. So fuck it. Just do it. And I don't think I genuinely wanted some of this stuff that I was getting into, or I genuinely didn't want that stuff. So you start to get stressed as well, too, because it's like, all right, I want exactly this. I want it just like I want to live exactly like this, and if I can't have it exactly like this, then I don't want it. So that is like putting extra pressure on myself. I feel like I started to put hella pressure on myself because not only did I want those things, I wanted it faster. I'm like, bro, like, I'm still down bad. I'm still fucked up. I just spent all this bread on these shoes or on this clothes, and I'm still fucked up trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bro, I was just all fucked up. Not saying that I regret any of that stuff. It's like I needed to do a lot of stuff that I did. Like, I'm not trying to get too into detail for with certain stuff that I was spending money on or doing, but like, I was doing a lot of shit, and kind of me reflecting now, I could tell that I was losing myself because it was like I didn't really want those things. Like, I feel like like I said, going back to where I was living at home and shit like that, I feel like my purest self was when I was living at home, because everything that I was doing was literally because I enjoyed doing it. It was just, I don't know. I hope I'm not confusing y'all. This is just like a reflection thing for me to kind of just talk right now. I'm trying to just talk and get these thoughts off my brain so I can move forward. We coming into a new year and shit like that. Normally I don't really be caring about a new year, or I don't be talking about resolutions or becoming a better person. Like I don't normally don't talk about that shit when the new year come up, but for some reason I feel real strong. Like, I have strong opinions, like strong feelings for 2023. I just for some reason feel like 2023 is about to be the year that a lot of good things happen for me. So I just need this reflection video. So if it doesn't make sense, I apologize, but I'm just getting thoughts out right now. But I just feel like a lot of things that I've been doing out here in LA is the result of me not knowing who I am and not knowing what I want, and seeing surface level things and just thinking that that's what I want because I've never had it, or that just seems like that's what I'm supposed to want. So I'm striving for shit that I don't even really want, and now I'm stressing myself out over shit that I don't even really care about or want. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I love clothes and I will never stop loving clothes. I literally went to go look at clothes today. I didn't vlog it because the stores that I went into had music and shit playing. I'll show y'all two of the pieces that I picked up, but I was thrifting. I went to 2nd Street, Wasteland and shit like that. Wasteland ain't really had no pieces. 2nd Street ain't had none, but they had like 2 pieces. I'm gonna show y'all in a second. But yeah, so I'll never stop being interested in clothes. I'm just going about it another way. Like I'm about to start getting back into my thrifting bag because I started to notice, like since I was talking about clothes, I started to notice that a lot of pieces that I love the most, like a lot of pieces that I really, really am obsessed with, are pieces that I got out of the thrift store, bro. Like all this shit that I be buying where I'm like buying $400 jeans or $600, $700 shoes. At one point I spent $1,000 on one pair of shoes. I literally have a video up on my YouTube of what shoe that was. Like, if y'all been following me, y'all know exactly what shoe that was. And it was I could have used that $1,000. Even if I wanted to waste my money on a pair of shoes at that time, I could have spent $1,000 on a way better shoe than that. But at that time, I was just like, fuck it. I just said, fuck it. I'm spending the rack on a pair of shoes. And I ended up selling them. Don't even got them shits no more. That wasn't the first time, or that wasn't the last time I did that. But yeah, a lot of shit that I like is thrifted shit. This crew neck I got on is thrifted. I got this shit out the thrift store. It got like paint marks and holes and shit. I just really like this shit. And like I said, I was at the thrift store today, and I don't know. I went to normally I don't go to Goodwills out here in California because a lot of them be ran through and they don't be having good shit. But I went in Goodwill today, and it just gave me like a feeling that I missed. It was just like, damn, I miss coming into Goodwill and like being able to find shit. Like me seeing the other people that's in there, I'm fucking with their style. I fuck with that. It just feel like that's where I belong on some shit. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I still fuck with certain designer pieces. Like I'm into fashion, so it's not like I'm just gonna neglect all that other shit, but I'm just going back. I'm at a point where I'm trying to go back to my roots and go back to doing the things that made me feel really good. That's why I'm glad that I'm back on YouTube, because once I got back on YouTube, I feel like everything it's starting to align again. It's starting to make me feel better and enjoy life a little bit more and understand my purpose and understand everything that I'm doing. So I'm glad that I got back on YouTube and I'm dedicating every day for this shit, because it's making me be like, okay, I'm starting to remember that this is what I was doing all that shit for, bro. Like this is where it all started at, bro. And we got unfinished business for real. So I'm glad that I'm back on this shit. But yeah, back to the clothes shit. All the stuff that I was doing, it's just I was in a good way. I was like, bro, like this feels like where I belong type shit. And it made me just think about how when it comes to getting dressed and shit like that, how the thrift store was the reason why I kind of learned my style and I was able to experiment with things. I feel like I said, this is not to diss designer brands and shit like that, because like I said, I still do love them. But I feel like only shopping designer brands and shit like that, it's like to like the regular consumer, I feel like it doesn't allow you to kind of find your style. I just really don't feel like just going to a store and just buying a name brand that you heard about or seen on Instagram. I feel like it doesn't help you find your style that much. I feel like it just makes you succumb to, I don't even know if I'm using that word, but it makes you succumb to what's already out there. So if you go buy a specific shirt, now you want to style it the same way you see somebody else style it, or you want to wear it the same way your favorite person wore it. Whereas to when I'm thrifting, you going in a thrift store, you have no idea. Like, it wasn't no photo shoot for this piece you about to pick up. It wasn't nothing. You about to pick up a piece, and if you like it, now you got to bring it home and figure out how you going to style it and make it look sweet with the shit you already got. And then going to go shop designer and shit afterwards. It's like, all right, I figured out my style. I figured out how to play with different pieces and shit like that. Now when I go buy a designer piece or a name brand piece, I know how to implement into my style instead of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope y'all get what I'm saying. But that's why I love thrifting so much. So I'm about to start trying to find Goodwills that niggas ain't ran through, or trying to like thrift how I used to thrift, you know what I'm saying? Because those were the pieces that I really, really love, and I really, really, really love thrifting, bro. Like, I really love thrifting, let alone love clothes. Like, fuck, I'm like obsessed with clothes and style and shit like that. Like, I was outside today just enjoying outside, because normally I don't go outside. I was just enjoying outside today. I was people watching. I was just seeing how people dress and shit. I'm like, damn, most of the people that I saw dress, it looked like they was going, like, they got their pieces out the thrift store, bro, like, and they just put it together in their own style. And I was like, bro, I just fuck with that. Like, that shit is just, that thrift culture, bro, like, that's where I come from. Like, all my like, that's literally what my YouTube and all that other shit was about. I started on my thrifting shit, bro, and that's like the times where I felt the purest. So I don't know. This is, I guess, basically what I'm saying is I'm about to start thrifting a little bit more, and I'm not going to neglect the designer pieces and shit like that, but I'm going to be trying to get my thrifted pieces more. You know what I'm saying? Get back into that and really, like, trying to feel good about this shit again. But, yeah, going back to where I said I felt like I was losing myself. I just felt like I started to care about things that I really didn't care about. Don't get me wrong. Number one, I still want to be a millionaire, and I am going to be a millionaire. That's already set in stone. I knew that from the get-go. Like, I already knew I was going to be a millionaire. So we're going to get there. We're going to be a millionaire. It's just how I'm getting to it and not stressing myself about not being a millionaire tomorrow. Like, that's where I have to kind of set myself and, like, figure out, okay, I know you want to be a millionaire. You're not going to get it tomorrow, and don't focus on it too much. Like, I feel like when people focus on trying to make money so much and be a millionaire and all that other stuff, you're like, no, I need the money. No, I need the money. You start to do certain things that aren't as pure, or you start to stress yourself out too much, and you're not able to enjoy life. I'm trying to enjoy life. I'm trying to enjoy everything that I do. I'm trying to do things that make me feel good. I'm trying to do things that uplift other people or shit like that, instead of thinking about money. It was a point, like a long span, like Poetic know this shit. I don't even know if he watching this shit right now, but he probably not. That nigga don't never be watching shit. But, well, he don't watch my shit, but like, he can attest to this shit. It was a point where every conversation I was like, bro, I'm broke as shit, I need money. Bro, I'm broke as shit, I need money. Bro, I'm broke as shit, I need money, bro. I don't give a fuck about nothing, I need money, bro. You keep talking about all this happy art shit, blah, blah, blah. I need money, bro. Like, this shit ain't making me no bread, da, 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 da. But at that time, me worried about money and all that other shit, just, it didn't help money come in better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't help none of that shit come in. So I was just like, bro, you over here complaining about all this shit, and it's like not helping you out, bro. Like, so it came to a point where I was like, all right, after having hella conversations with him and shit like that, it came to a point where it was like, all right, let me stop worried about this money shit, and let me just start doing shit that make me feel good, and let me start doing shit that I really enjoy to do. And I think I can honestly say, literally, like, honestly, as soon as I started this YouTube shit, like when I told y'all I'm about to be every day, it felt like as soon as I started that shit, I'm starting to enjoy life more. I'm starting to appreciate life more. I'm starting to appreciate everything that I have more. I don't know what it is. It's just like, I told y'all, like, it's like, I stepped away from my YouTube family too long, man. That's what it was. I was fucked up. Like, I needed to come back and ground myself with y'all. Y'all had to come back to family, to where y'all had to remind me, like, look, all that shit you over there talking about, that shit ain't nothing, bro. This is where home is, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's something about the YouTube shit that made me kind of just start looking at shit, having a different outlook on life again, just being like, all right, I'm appreciative of everything I do. I want to make sure everything I'm doing has a purpose behind it. I want to make sure I'm enjoying it. I'm not stressing myself out. Like, I haven't been depressed or anything like that. Only a few things, like, get me in my emotions and shit like that when it comes to my mom, because my mom has been in the hospital, you know what I'm saying? She had to get open heart surgery. She's still recovering. We got like, it's still shit that has to be paid with that stuff that it stresses me out because like I don't have what I want to have to be able to contribute to certain things and shit like that. So that's probably the only thing that really bothers me in my life is that stuff when it comes to not being able to do certain things for my mom and shit like that right now. But other than that, I'm trying to focus on just creating and not thinking so much and just doing whatever, like literally whatever I feel like doing, do it. Like if I can do it, just do it. Don't think too much, nothing. That's why with the YouTube videos, I just sit here and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to whatever. Like I'm not going to try to plan it out too much. I'm just going to press record and whatever going on is whatever is going on. And this is what I'm going to do. So yeah, I felt like I lost myself for sure, and I think I'm already on a good track because being able to admit that, I feel like a lot of people aren't able to admit when they lose themselves or when they start to think about certain shit that ain't them. I think me admitting that I feel like I lost myself at some point around all this shit, I think that's a good step towards peacefulness and happiness and shit like that. So yeah, I was just getting caught up in all this shit, bro. You can get caught up in a lot of this shit, bro. Like just living this fast ass life or just wanting money all the time and knowing you want to be a millionaire, knowing you want to be rich and being like, fuck, bro, I want this, that, and the third. But half of that shit you don't even want, bro. You just saying it. I want to be a millionaire. Don't get me wrong. I'm telling you, I want to be a millionaire. But it's just you gotta have like a healthy balance when it comes to all this shit. Like everybody want to be rich, everybody want to do this shit, but you got to have a healthy balance. It's like, okay, you know you want these things, but how is your everyday look? Like, are you happy? Are you doing the things you want to do? Because if you're not happy, your life isn't peaceful, you're not doing the things you want to do, you're not really gonna make it to that $1 million or something like that. And even if you do make it to that $1 million, you're gonna be miserable being a millionaire and shit like that. So that's what I'm on. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be rich. I want to help my family out. I want to help the people I love out and all the other stuff. But if I'm not happy, if my mind state not in the right place and shit like that, I'm not going to be able to help nobody, bro. Like, I'm not going to be able to do shit. So I'm realizing that my peace and, like, I got that shit tatted on my face. Like, that show you, like, that's something that I really, really want, bro. Like, I really want peacefulness. Like, I want to be peaceful. I want to be happy. I want to enjoy my everyday. I don't want every thought to be, I want money. I want to be a millionaire. I don't want every thought to be the shit that I don't have and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want none of that shit, bro. Like, I want to be able to be thinking freely and peacefully and clearly and enjoy life, enjoy every day, enjoy every moment. And yeah, so I feel like I'm finding myself again, you know what I'm saying, to a certain point, because it's like, all right, I see myself doing the things that I used to do that I gave up because I was like, man, this shit is bullshit. Like, that video where I drew on the Stan Smiths, it's like, even if you don't like the shoes, or even if I don't like the shoes later on, or it's just, even if the drawings isn't the best, it's like, that's not the point. I was doing something that just made me feel good, and it was some type of outlet that I needed to do, so it was no anything behind it. It was just like, ooh, I want to draw on my shoes. I'm about to record it, and boom. Like, I'm just doing whatever comes to my mind. If I can do it, I'm just doing it, and whatever it leads to, we know what the bigger picture is at the end of the day. But I just want to do stuff that make me feel good and makes other people feel good, that can inspire other people and shit like that. Yeah, man, that's really what I needed to sit down and talk. That was like a good 25 minutes, 28 minutes, almost 30 minutes, whatever. But I just feel like I needed to sit down and say that out loud, and maybe it could help y'all with anything that y'all was going through or anything like that. But yeah, I kind of needed this. I needed to sit down and think about that shit. And like I said, every day it's just not gonna go your way. But when things aren't going your way, you gotta try to find a way to just, you know what I'm saying, ground yourself and be like, all right, like, it's not going my way, but what is good in my life? What is going well in my life? Keep a positive mindset. Just stay positive with everything, no matter how bad shit may seem, and just appreciate where you are in your life, because it could be worse. And where you at in your life right now, I could probably bet that it was different a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know at least for me, this shit was different a couple years ago, bro. Like, I might look at my situation now and be like, damn, this, that, and the third is happening, but I'm blessed, bro. Like, I really wake up every day and can kind of do whatever I want to do to a certain extent, but it's like, bro, we still got goals we need to reach. I'm trying to make, like I said, I don't want to make this no money thing, but I am trying to make a lot of money, bro, because I want to be able to do any and everything I want to do for my people and for myself and all that shit, bro. So that is what that is. But yeah, man, I just had to sit down and just talk out loud. And like I said, I hope this helps somebody who's watching this shit if you lasted this long watching it. But yeah, I lost myself at some point, but now I'm starting to regain myself back. You know what I'm saying? Reel myself back in. You know what I'm saying? Reel myself back in. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you out there, you feel like you was losing yourself, hopefully this video helps, and hopefully my situation, my story helped. I know it was a bunch of rambling, and I was just talking about a bunch of shit. Every time I talk, I feel like there's no order to it. There's no structure to it, no guidance. I feel like I just be rambling, but fuck it. I be needing to get this shit out.